Hello, friends. Welcome to Islington Listens, wisdom from a community of faith that doesn't think the same, vote the same, or love the same, but we are trying our best to follow in the way of Jesus with compassion and hope.
Do you hear Grandmother Wisdom as she calls out, and her sister Understanding as she lifts up her voice? Grandmother Wisdom stands high above the path where the roads cross. Then, along the path at the village entrance, she sends out her voice. I call out to the people, she says. I send out my voice to all the young ones. You young ones who are so easily fooled, she says, learn to be cunning as a trickster. You young fools who think you know it all, learn to follow the ways of wisdom. Listen closely, for I speak as an honored elder. What comes out of my lips is as straight as an arrow. My mouth will speak only truth. Lips that speak sour words turn my stomach. My words are straight and true. There are no twists or turns in them. My speech follows a smooth and level path to the ones who understand. Those with good minds will gain even more knowledge. Herein lies wisdom. Thanks be to God.
Dorothy Lee Lowe, as a member of the Mississaugas of the Credit, we offer the gift of tobacco for your words of wisdom. We seek your guidance as you share some of your journey as an Indigenous woman connected to the story of this land.
Did I say that I met you on Orange Shirt Day last year?
Yes.
Oh. It was a wonderful time, and Dorothy's sister was the chief of the Mississaugas of the Credit. It's changed now with voting. And she got called by Doug Ford to go to a meeting, and Dorothy came instead, and it was wonderful. Most of the people up here were there, and some in the congregation came too. Before I met you, I assumed that the Mississaugas of the Credit would live nearby here by the Credit River. I thought I would find their territory buildings sometime. I really wanted to meet someone who was a Mississauga of the Credit. I visited you, and I find that it's outside Hagersville. It's an hour and a half from here. Nowhere near the Credit River, which goes from Orangeville down to Lake Ontario. And she told me when I was coming, yeah, come to the res, and I'll show you around. The res is often what people that live on a reservation call it. So I want to ask Dorothy today, what was it like growing up on the res?
Okay. Good morning. Before I begin, I have to follow our protocol. And I was not meant to be here today. My sister, the former chief, Claire Salt, was supposed to be here. So my sister and my brother, Larry Salt, who are highly, highly capable people, taught me the proper protocol. Because for 48 years, I was a city slicker. So I have to follow the protocol. My Anishinaabe name is Minigushkuk. It means good sky spirit woman. My brother and sister told me that before we begin anything, that if we come bearing gifts, we have to share those gifts first. And why we share those gifts first is so we're not seen as a bribe. So I brought gifts. I brought this for Janice, the murdered and missing Indigenous. And the artist is sitting right over there in the front row, named Patrick, from a remote fly-in, Martin Falls First Station. He's the artist. So this will be very big on Janice, but she's got many years to expand it. The other gift I come bearing is for Roger. Roger was kind enough to spend hours listening to my ragging on about different things. And he too, that's the only SARS I had, so he'll have to just go with that. But Patrick Atchney Paniscum, sitting here, is our artist. And so that's a gift I come bearing.
That's Dorothy's son-in-law.
Yeah, right here in
the second row. Thank you.
The other gift I come bearing is last night I was sitting in I call it my smoke pit. I'm a cigarette smoker. And I had this young Indigenous girl sneak up on me, and she said in a very soft voice, "Would you like to buy some strawberries?" So I said to her, because I'm an old strawberry picker from way back, I said, "Young lady, how long did it take you to pick those berries?" She said, 3 hours. And I said, "How many flats did you pick?" And she said, 1. So right there, my heart just opened right up. And I thought of this young Indigenous girl in that sauna blue strawberry patch working 3 hours. I said, "I'll take them." So this is a gift I come bearing for each of you to break bread and have a strawberry after. And finally, before I begin, I went to Fatima, Portugal, a holy Catholic pilgrim site. I'm Catholic. And the candle, I won't light it, is meant to be, we're all connected to the Great Spirit. We have many around the world, angels, saints, all our prayer buddies praying for us. The red dress is meant for all of our people that disappeared under suspicious circumstances and never made it back. And we want them, some bodies came back, but those in spirit, we want them to have a proper resting. And finally, I have brought I was gifted an eagle feather. And when you hold an eagle feather, it's supposed to symbolize that you tell the truth. And I will certainly tell the truth today because I have 3 people in the audience who know me rather intimately. My daughter, Diane, who lives here in Toronto, and Patrick. So I'm on what you call a short leash. And the other thing, I'm very conscious of time. I think this is one of the reasons, amongst many, why I became a Catholic. It's a very reverent place, it's a very solemn place, it's very respectful, and more importantly, the homilies are short. They're not long-winded. So it's my cup of tea, so I plan to follow the script. Miigwech.
I was very touched when you told me your mom went to the residential school, the Mohawk Institute, because a month or so ago, our circle and a whole bunch of leaders of the United Church went to visit. And please take the time to go there if you're in that neighborhood. One of our projects we might, if we could do it, is to have a bus of our congregation, people that would like to go there. And you said, your mom called it the mush hole because they only ate mush. So what was it like growing up?
Well,
big family.
I'm the 3rd oldest of 16. My mother spent 6 years at the Mohawk Institute, and everyone called it the mush hole. And Janice is right. They ate mush. My mother spent 6 years there. Her mother and her mother's siblings also went there. My mother was the second oldest girl of about 12, and the first 4 in her family attended the Mohawk Institute. My father was a baby of about 12, and his mother passed away when he was 9. He was not allowed to go to the funeral, something that grieved him until his deathbed, because she just disappeared on him. So, given that background of my mom, my grandparents, and so on, my father, and so on. So growing up on the res, and I'm not here to weaponize colonization, but I need to say this, that we, especially where I'm from, the Mississauga of the Credit First Nation, that we were a different kind of people. We were, I would say, somewhat soft, had our own ways of knowing and being. And then when contact was made, that all changed. That all changed. So fast forward, here we are. And I was born in 1953 in Buffalo, New York. I'm the third oldest. So my father at the time was working on asphalt. And like probably many in this congregation, in the 50s, you did whatever was before you to work, to survive. And that was the way it was. My mother, when she left the residential school, she was an unregulated nurse at the Federal Indian Hospital called the Lady Wellington on the Six Nations of the Grand River. She met my father, who was in a drunken brawl, beat up, broken jaw, all bruised up, and the story goes she kissed him, her patient. Of course, we all laugh now, red flags, beep, beep, danger, danger, and the rest is history. Here we are, 16. There are 8 living and 8 deceased, 7 deceased, I mean. My parents did what they were taught. They lived what they learned. There was no love shown in the residential school, so we did not see any outward affection whatsoever. No kindness. My father was an orphan with a drunken father, and no whatsoever. So he grew up, and my mother grew up, with twisted love. Twisted love. Growing up, and like many in this room, in a poverty-stricken time and era and an upbringing, on the res with no running water, wood stoves, no flooring, all of that, and all of you that are here know from your own ancestors, your own lineage, times were tough. So growing up on the res was not a challenge at the time, it was a way of life. It was a way of life. Grew up in a very military-style, brutal upbringing. Grew up with a very twisted view of God. Grew up with the heavy hand and being assaulted by the Scripture. Assaulted by the Scripture. We would have Caucasians. At that time, we didn't call them Caucasians, we called them swamp angels. My father always said, don't you girls ever marry a swamp angel. That meant a Caucasian. They would come to the res, pitch up a big tent, we'd all go and get saved, and next week we'd all be drunk. That was just the way it was. So I figured that God didn't like me, and I didn't like God either when I got older. But in that upbringing, we all had a work ethic. We worked very, very hard. Every one of us grew up with a fantastic work ethic. The other thing we grew up with amongst my siblings was caring and sharing for each other, because we were so poor. And we say now, when we look back, that without the chain of us siblings together, we don't know how we would ever walk through what we walked through. And we walked through a lot of violence, a lot of addiction, but we also walked through goodness. There was goodness. Sometimes it's hard to see that goodness, but there was. So that's like growing up on the res. And for me, when I was 13, I made up my mind. I recall it. No one would ever boss me around again, ever. Well, my daughter is here today. My son-in-law is here today. And unfortunately, I lived my life on a collision course, near ruin countless times. When you have that core within you. Yeah, that's life on the res.
I remember you telling me the story that your dad would sit you all down by the television and make you watch.
Yes.
Billy Graham, any evangelist.
Yes, when I say assaulted by the word, one thing comes to mind: spare not the rod. Others too. But anyway, so we would all go to the tent meeting. The evangelists would come for hours. Then in the 50s, it was Billy Graham and Oral Roberts. So we're like little puppies, all sitting around with the TV ears and this TV. And I recall life. I couldn't put words to this, but I wanted to disappear right into the screen when it came altar call. But then I turned, but I remember that moment. I was always a dreamer, always a dreamer. When I was in school, grade 1, I'd look out the window, and I just wish I disappeared in the bird. So I always had this dream on kind of mode. Yeah. Thank God that whole contradictory, twisted view of the Creator shifted. It's shifted. Thanks be to God.
My next question comes about, you told me the original land of the Mississaugas was from Lake Ontario way up to Lake Superior. How many acres did you?
We had close to 4 million acres. Now, it's a very vast territory. It was a very vast territory. So yes, close to 4 million, and I'm very conscious of.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yes, we had close to 4 million acres.
And then taken away, and you were, by treaties or whatever, you were left.
Yes, well, in those days, fortunately, my daughter is present, and she took history in university, so she can correct me. But then again, she doesn't have to correct me, because when you're 73, you do misfire. So, yes, we had a very vast territory, and back then, the ceremonies, the laws, the knowledge, the ways of knowing was with nation to nation. The people were the leaders. They were the leaders. And then through whatnot, I'll just fast forward, from my knowledge base, we had the Crown come and want the land. And then it was taken under false pretenses, very, 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 very crumbs. And then the next thing happened is a whole history here. And then the government brought in the Indian Act. And it's really legislation to control us. I said I wasn't here to weaponize colonization. nor extend deep lateral violence, but I'm capable of both. So here we are now, and our people have, I can think back to 1969, the paper in my time, the white paper with Pierre Trudeau, and the red paper with the chiefs. But there has been a resurgence. There's always been a voice to right the wrong here. We had a major, vast territory. We had sections. We had a claim called the Toronto Claim that was started in 1986, and it was settled in 2010. And our nation, the Mississauga of the Credit First Nation, got $143 million for that claim, and it was vast. Then our next claim is called the Rouge River, and that was settled in November, early December of 2025, and our nation got, I believe it was $183 million. I might be wrong in the number, but it was maybe 83, 86, I'm not sure yet. I can't recall the exact number. And now we have a major claim that is for the waterways. And this claim, I'm told, you heard the terminology, the next 7 generations. Well, the next 7 generations means forever. We don't know when this water claim is going to be settled. It was started in, I think it was 2015 or 2019. 2019. But with this, our present administration, chief and council, are doing what they can. There's a resurgence of culture, a resurgence. The language is coming back, and probably started about 20 years ago. Language, ceremony, there's still a battle between the traditionalists and Christians. Yeah, it's a challenge, but what I want to say about all that is that the Indigenous people are taking their place of honor. Their place of honor.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. What can we as a Christian church or as human beings do to take a step towards reconciliation?
Well, the good news is all of you that are United Church, I saw you in action. I'm a registered nurse, and I took a short 10-week outpost nursing assignment in British Columbia. That's where I lived. I went to a small community called Port Simpson. Then I flew on to Bella Bella. I was hired by Dr. Peter Newberry. He was the head of the health services and the Hazelton Hospital. So for 10 weeks, I hung out with the likes of you. I was with South African doctors, and before we even started our shift, we would have a scripture and prayer. I loved it. I loved it. But one thing I knew from Dr. Newberry and United Church, you people are social justice warriors. I knew that, so you already are in the camp. The other thing that I know about United Church, I'm a member of AA. And when I lived in Vancouver, we had an AA group called the Longhouse. And the Longhouse was held in United Church basement. And the United Church minister rode a bicycle, was a single father, scruffy looking, a beard, sandals, and blue jeans. And he was the nicest guy going. The nicest guy going. And he too was a social justice warrior. And the thing that I absolutely loved, I don't want to offend anybody, but I have a late brother who was two-spirited. What I absolutely loved, that two-spirited are welcome. very inclusive. Very inclusive. So what can you do? You keep on doing what you're doing. First thing, the history books got it all wrong. Got it all wrong. Read, enlighten yourself, educate yourself, continue to do what you do. And what you do is that you come to us. Come to us, because I have firsthand experience with this. You come to us. God is love. Love is God. If you've known love, you've known God. If you've known God, you've known love. And what does that mean? Stretching in the heart. It means stretching in the heart. It means that when you see a need, you reach. You reach. Every one of us sitting in here today have had our own moment of encounter with the Creator. Our own moment. And we have moments every day. Every day. So what can you do? Keep on trucking on. Be aware. They say the person that is fully alive has awareness, awareness, awareness. Be aware. Look who's writing the narrative in the media. Who is writing the narrative? Look at that. Question things. Question things. Go to the knowledge keepers. Go to the language speakers. Go to the elders. They have the wisdom. Go to them. And most of all, we're all at the foot of the cross.
Thank you so much. It's my own personal custom that when I go to visit, I often bring a gift. Oh. And I forgot when I came up to Hagersville to visit you. But here's a jar of my homemade relish.
Oh, good.
And a thank you from the congregation for Dorothy Lee coming. And guess where she wants to go after? Chinatown and have dim sum.
Thanks for listening, friends. For other ways to connect, go to islingtonunited.org. May God's wisdom and love keep finding you.